Okay, so let's chat contact pages. Jump into the contact page, go into the page itself. Okay, so same as all the other pages, you can change this text, you can change this background image, you can change just the font. This might be where you're like, hey, we can't wait to hear from you. You might say you can also, if you don't hear from us, contact us on this email, that kind of stuff, whatever you want to have there. And then you have these two sections here. You've got contact form show it and contact form embed. I'll start with embed because that's easy. If you use a CRM or a system like 17 Hats, Studio Ninja, Honeybooks, there's a lot, and they give you an embed code so you can put in your own contact form. Great, this is where you do that. So you can just double click on the box, paste in your code, hit save, cancel, and that form will pop up in here. And then if you need to change the size of this, go for it. Make sure it looks good in desktop and mobile, especially on the a contact page, super important. You want to make sure that it's not cutting out the submit button or anything like that. So give that a test on both. So that's the embed form. The show it contact form, so the template one, that is here. Give you a quick run over of how that works because you might want to change or add in some options. So if you wanted to change, say, event date over here, what you need to know is there's 3 sections to every question. You've got the just the title here, so that's just plain text. So if we wanted to change this to phone number, phone, make it mandatory. Just type that in. So great. And then there's this empty text box. That's the actual bit where the client is going to be writing into. And then behind that is the shape. So you can play around with the shape color, border color, if you want it to have like a light background, you can do that. So that's just a shape that's sitting behind the text, so the text is in front of that. And then what they're going to do is, so in text properties, this is what you can change if you need to. It's always going to be enable input because that is what lets people type in there, whether you want it required or not. So if you're like, can't fill out this form unless you give me a phone number, tick that as required. What in subject means is when they send it through to you, the subject of the email will be website form notifier, and then whatever else you say is in subject. So I've got the name in there and the date in there. So on the template form, your name is in subject, and this was date in subject. So you probably don't want the phone number to be in the subject of the email, so you could take that out. And if you wanted to make it their name and event location, turn that on. Anyway, so reply to, that is just for the email. That's so when you get it, that's the actual, jump over again. That is the email that lost the reply button. They'll be replying to. Oh, mine's a test site, so that doesn't work. But if it wasn't a test site, that would be your whatever email address goes in there. And then label is the other thing you need to change. So if we change, so if seen that wants to be phone, this should be, it doesn't have to match or anything, but what this changes, the label is just, go back to the email, it will show up in the email. So your name, your email, that would say phone if you change that. Location, message, So you see I've got Herd, Insta. So you can see, so it doesn't say the big long thing. It's just whatever you put in the label. So if you wanted to, say, add another couple of questions in here, best thing to do would just be to copy and paste. So copy those, paste them in. Now you need to make sure that they are in order. So these ones. The reason for that is, so let's move this. Okay, let's, as an example, so we need to make this longer. Move these ones down. Not going to be worried about alignment for now. And then the ones that we just pasted in then. I'm going to move these down as well. There we go. Okay, so the ones that we just pasted in then, your name and your email, that we wanted to say add in here, we want to make sure that they move down on here. There we go. Because what happens then, apart from it's just easier to, so let's make this more, let's go partner's name, and let's go partner's phone. So what we'd also need to do here under text properties is, if we want it required, that's great. Let's call this, change the label so we know what that means when we get the email. Partner name, do we want that in the subject? Could do. Partner's phone, let's go, we don't want that in subject, that's not reply to. The label's going to be partner phone. And you can finish up making this look better. Bring this up to the same amount. You have to do the same thing with mobile. I'm not going to do it now because let's just go through what you need to do. So the reason why we need to make sure that it's in the right order here, your name, your email, partner's name, partner's phone, is because if we preview it, if people tab, that's how the tab, so I'm tabbing now, reverse tabbing. So let's go there. So they can type their name, type their email, tab, type their partner's name, type their partner's phone. Jump out of that, if these were in the wrong order, so say I put partner's name, just grab those three and I move that above email, what would happen in the preview is it would go, so name, tab, and then it jumps to partner's name, tab, jumps to email. Doesn't really make sense. So you always want to make sure that that's, people like to tab. So you always want to make sure that these are in the right order. And if you're not making any changes, all of that is irrelevant. This will be the message that they put in. How did you hear about us? The submit button. So you can change the text on that. And when they submit it, it will go through to whatever the email address is that you have registered with Showit. It'll go through to that account. What will also happen when they hit the submit button is you can tell it to go to a page. So we've got a confirmation page set up in the template. And what that does, if I go preview it, so your name, your partner's name, all right, let's just fill these in. Scroll down, message, so that what happens is when they hit submit, great, and it goes across to this page, and you can make all your changes to this page. That is let's jump to site. That's the confirmation page, which is just any other page. You can change your change the text, change the background, change whatever you need to say here. Change these images, double click, change the images, change the text here. You can say whatever page you want that to go to. If you want it to go to your FAQs, you can do that. If you wanted it to go to like a whole different URL or one of your blogs, then you'd put in the actual URL of the blog. So you can kind of do anything you want here. And this is just the page. This is just people that get the submit the form. So you can change all that. It's quite a simple page for you to change. And that is mostly it with this page. So if you want to get rid of those confetti that came up on the page, is it going to come up in the preview? Yep. If you want to get rid of the confetti, you can just go to, so click on confirmation, and then under advanced settings, you can just delete this, delete that script. So grab all that, delete, save, and that'll go. Paste that back in. That's up to you if you want to keep that or not. And that is it for contact page and for the confirmation page. I'll leave it there.